Sando, first of all, Sam Jacobs, what's his status?
No, he looks good. He got through the full session today, so I can't see any reason. We'll probably see how he pulls up tomorrow before we set off. But if he gets on the plane tomorrow, he's almost certainly going to play.
So what sort of work did he do this morning?
Well, he did everything. We had a 40-minute session, and he didn't look restricted. He did some ruck work, did some controlled contact. So, looks like he'll be fine to play.
It was just more a corky, wasn't it, in the hip?
Yeah, quite a deep cork, which restricted him on match day. But he's a pro. He did lots of recovery work this week. You would have seen him down the beach every night, wading through the water, and he's been getting physio treatment every day. And to his credit, looks like he's going to get up.
How did he get that?
It was friendly fire. It was a Dangerfield knee. So, quickly overcame it this week, and obviously coming up against a really good ruckman in Sandlands, who's really important for them.
So how important is to have him available, you said, because Sandlands has been in great nick?
Yeah, I mean, he's a unique ruckman, Sandlands, in that he's 10 centimetres taller than the next tallest ruckman that he ever plays against, and he's the number one hit-out player this year, which he is every year when he's playing Sandlands. So we'll have to be at our best at ground level. Part of that will be, Source will still win his fair share of hit-outs, but we have to understand that this will be a week that will be sharking Sandlands hit-outs as well.
So you watched a lot of video during the week of how he goes about his work and how you might do that?
Yeah, and they've got a great midfield too with Fife, Mundy, Barlow, Hill. So there's plenty of options for them at ground level as well, and it's shaping up as a really sort of mouth-watering contest with our midfield against their midfield.
What about Tex Walker? There was some talk he had a calf compression the other day that he may not play. Is he okay?
No, he's fine. He did the whole session today as well. Yeah, that was just a precautionary one. I think he had a corky in the calf, but that's nothing out of the ordinary for most players. He'll certainly play.
Any concerns that it might be a knee-related issue, Sando?
Nah, he's fine. Nah, the knee's really good. Knee's strong. Last week's game, GPS-wise, he ran further and at the highest speeds that we've seen in the 3 games back. So there's no reason why he won't play this week.
No temptation to rest him at all?
No, there's not. We have got some bans of 6-day breaks coming up. So him, like every player, I think though, will just analyse their wellness log and. We have to be smart with all of our players, but certainly Tex, with some high intensity games and 6-day breaks, will be a little bit cautious with some guys, but he probably falls into that category a little bit.
Freo in Perth, tougher prospect. Do you think had you won games against Melbourne, Carlton have been in a bit of a better position, you could afford to rest a guy like Tex in this position, given that he's only played 3 games coming back?
Yeah, we'd love to be 7-3, but we're 5-5. Every game's really important for us. We've got to win every game that we play. We've got to go with that mentality that we take a winning attitude into every match that we play. Historically, we've actually played pretty well against Fremantle. I know they got us twice last year, but they were close games. And in 2012, we beat them 3 times that year and knocked them out of the final. So we're looking forward to this matchup. This is a really good side, and we know that they played in a grand final last year. So we'll have to be at our best to beat them, and a lot of things are going to have to go right because this is a good defensive team, and they do hit the scoreboard if you give them time and space. So we'll have to be at our best to compete with Freo this week.
What's the theme of the week to beat Fremantle to play? You sort of 7th place with Bold last week. What's the theme this week?
Oh, nothing really changes in that regards. I mean, when we play well, we get an even contribution from 22 players, and when we attack well, we normally take the ball forward. Any side that tries to switch the ball or handball backwards against Fremantle, you have to understand that they're a great pressure side. They bring the heat as good as anyone. So we have to be, as you said, we have to be bold. We have to take the game on and not be reluctant to take the ball forward against Fremantle.
How do you score against them? I mean, they only have conceded 71 points on average a game, and they've won 15 of the past 16.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that 10 goals could beat Fremantle. It probably will be a low-scoring down match, and last year they scored I think 11 goals and we scored. They scored 9 goals. We scored 7. It's a mentality that you have to take across to Perth. Is that it's going to be a low-scoring game. It won't be a shootout. Both teams probably defensively will set up some strategy looking to lock the other team away. But yeah, we can't give them that. We can't allow them to lock us away either. We have to take the game on.
Because if they do lock you away and you are going backwards, you probably would struggle to even kick 10.
Yeah, it's the wrong side to play against if you're looking to take the game on east-west. You have to take it north-south against this team for sure.
If you can hit the scoreboard early, Sando, do you reckon that gets them out of their comfort zone of being able to stifle you? Because, like you said, they're not going to kick the big score.
Yeah, a start's important. It's particularly on the road against a good defensive side. It'd be good to get away to a good start. I mean, that hasn't been our strong point this season, and even last week, you know, we had 3 or 4 goals on the board early, and it was good to get away to a better start last week. But against the top sides, against the really good defensive sides, it's good for the confidence to get the game going our way as early as we can.
I assume Crowley would get Dangerfield. Do you expect that to happen?
Yeah, you'd think so. I mean, we've Rory Sloane's got a really good record against Fremantle as well, but you know, different times this year. Douglas, Scott Thompson, they'd be concerned about them as well. And you know, we've seen Jared Lyons and Brodie Martin have some good games in the last couple of weeks too. So we're pretty happy with our mids. I think they're in pretty good form. I think that's where the game's going to be won or lost.
Sorry, a lot of talk about zones during the week and players maybe 3 and a half at any one time. What's your take?
I think there needs to be a bit more research done yet before we head down that path. I think the game's in pretty good shape. Depends who you go and watch. You know, if you go and watch Port Adelaide or if you go and watch the Crows play, you don't see that ugly style of footy. You see more attractive footy. Certain coaches play a certain way that I think gets fans through the gates. There are certain styles of play though which are, you know, a lot of numbers around the ball, low scoring, which I think that's probably where the doomsdayers are focusing on. But there are some teams out there playing some really attractive footy that gets people through the gates.
Who plays ugly footy?
Oh, you guys can work it out. You guys can. It's not hard to work out. But if you come and watch the Crows play, you see an attractive style of footy.
Cameron Shelman, how close is he to debuting?
Yeah, really close. He'll be in the mix. We'll finalise our team in a couple of hours' time. But he's playing some really good footy. I like how he plays. He's the modern day footballer, so 188 centimetres. He's pretty quick. He's clean. He can play a variety of spots. So he's a genuine utility for us. He's been playing through the midfield for us at state league level, but he can play a variety of roles for us. He can play forward. He can play as a third tall defender. And you've seen even with Fremantle this week, all of their midfielders are 188 to 192 centimetres. So yeah, he's the modern footballer.
But down the track, is he someone that you need like that? Because you've got Dangerfield, but not a lot of other big-bodied midfielders like him. Is he someone that would be a really good fit if he could get himself in good form for your club moving forward?
Exactly right. Outside of Dangerfield, most of our midfielders are 6 foot. They're 182, 183 centimetres. Some are even shorter. But I think, yeah, the way the game's heading, that utility role, guys that can play a variety of positions, is that sort of 188 to 192 midfielders. And I think that's why the way the game's heading.
You've been patient with him. How long before he can become a regular in a role like that for you guys?
Yeah, you're right. We have been patient with him, but his debu's not far away. I know there's some guys coming back from injury. You know, Crouch is going to play this week against the Eagles in the State League. His brother Matt is also had a week off last week, but he won't be far away again. Henderson's only probably a week or 2 away, if that. Lynch is another one who's probably only 2 weeks away. So we're starting to get a few guys back now. So competition for spots, you know, Porplesia, Grigg still playing in the State League. We have got some depth there if we need it, and competitions for spots is pretty hot.
Do you feel the State League's doing an adequate job in progressing these sorts of guys into the first team?
Yeah, we love it. I mean, for our guys to be coached by our coaches playing our style, we can play players in the positions that we want to play them in, and it's really good for those boys to play the same game style, whether they're playing at State League or at AFL level. So, from our point of view, yeah, we're really happy with how that's progressing.
Thompson and McKernan both a chance to play Perth?
Depends a little bit on how guys pull up, and we'll do one more training run tomorrow, which is open session for the media. So, I mean, you guys will probably get a good chance to have a look at the 25 and how they move around. So, yeah, we'll finalise the 22 this afternoon, and we'll see how those guys, you know, Jacobs and a few others, sort of move through the session.
Just one more. The AFL's released its latest findings of illicit drugs today. 26 guilty in 2012, down to 15 last year. Is that a sign that it is working?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I haven't had a chance to look at that report yet. I've only heard about it. So I think the AFL do a fantastic job in testing and screening players, and it's obviously going to always be part of the community. But we would love to keep our sport clean, and as I said, I think the AFL is probably leading the world in its ability to test and to screen as many players as possible, and I think we're heading in the right direction.